how far apart are these points? For example, the distance from A to B, we can see, is 2 units. 1, 2. There's 2 squares between them. And the distance from B to C, well, 1, 2, 3, 4 is easier to see. But the distance from A to C is trickier. It's on a diagonal. So how can we find out that exact distance? For example, if this is a wooden structure and you need to cut a piece of wood that goes exactly this length to support it. To do that, we're going to use our good old friend Pythagoras, specifically Pythagoras' theorem. To find the distance from A to C, count the number of the distance horizontally, how far you have to go horizontally. So from A, you go horizontally 1, 2 units in the x direction. And then we can go up 1, 2, 3, 4 units. If I do that and join the line AC, so I can see the length of this line segment is the distance, then I have a right-angled triangle, which means we can use Pythagoras. If this is the distance, let's call it D, then the hypotenuse squared, D squared, is this thing squared, 2 squared, plus this thing squared, 4 squared. D squared is 2 squared plus 4 squared. From here, on the next line, we can replace 2 squared with its answer, which is 4, and 4 squared with 16, because 4 times 4 is 16. I'll put a therefore because I'm making a new equation here, which is equivalent. Everything else I copy down the D squared, copy down the equals. Now I can replace 4 plus 16 with 20, and everything else gets copied down. Here, I know what D squared is, but I want to find what D is. What's the opposite of squaring? Taking the square root. So if you know that D squared is 20, then you know that D is the square root of 20. Technically, there are 2 solutions to D here, but we know it's positive because it would be very silly if a distance was negative. So that's our answer. You can also give your answer as a decimal, but you'll usually have to round it off. If you put this into your calculator, press the square root button and then type in 20, then you'll find the answer is 4.4, and then there are a lot of other digits after. So we can round off with and show that we've rounded using this approximately equal sign. We can do the same thing to find the distance from A to E. So from A to E, the distance horizontally is 3 and vertically is 3. We can draw the line between them. I could have put these lines underneath and drawn a triangle that looks a little bit like this. So I could have gone 3 across this way and 3 across that way. You'll get exactly the same answer. It doesn't matter if your triangle is above or below. Anyway, I can see that this distance here is 3, this distance is 3, so D squared is 3 squared plus 3 squared, and again, a similar thing. 3 squared is 9, so I can replace each of these with 9. 9 plus 9 is 18, so I can copy everything down and replace that with 18. I know what D squared is, so to figure out D, I need to take the square root. So D is the square root of 18. This is the exact answer. It's in surd form. That's what the square root means. To get an approximate answer, again, you can just put it in your calculator. Cool. In the next video, I'll show you how to do it if you don't have the points already on a Cartesian plane like this, if you're just given the points as coordinates, because that's useful as well. It's annoying if you're given the coordinates to have to draw up a Cartesian plane. So that's why this next thing will be handy. All right, I'll see you next time.